Connie D'Amico has to be one of the most insufferable characters ever created.
Oh my god, you're so lame.
I know you are, but what am I?
Lame.
Okay, we'll call that one a tie.
Because only when you start looking at the episodes where she's at her absolute worst, you see just how nasty, selfish and cruel she can be. So, if you didn't hate this already, Not Fair Studios made the ultimate final selection of episodes that will make you hate Connie D'Amico. Now, we're going to start with the episode Connie Salika, because this isn't just Connie being a mean girl. This is full-on villain origin story behaviour. So it starts simple enough. Lois takes a job as a music teacher, trying to do something good, walking into class all positive. And then Connie just decides to f***ing ruin everything, mocking her, talking rubbish, acting like this classroom is her bloody personal kingdom. And when Lois tries to keep things together, Connie just straight up throws a tomato at her like it's a bloody cartoon. Which, I mean, it kind of is. But anyway, not from their perspective. That there was strike 3. She gets expelled, which is very fair. Normal consequence, to be honest. End of story. Right? Well, no. That's when Connie decides to become an absolute menace to society.
This is your 3rd strike this year. According to school policy, 3 strikes means you're expelled.
What?
Principal Shepard, I'm not sure that's necessary.
I'm sorry, I've made my decision.
Because instead of being angry and moving on, she starts plotting like she's some bloody mastermind from hell. And the first thing she does is hack Lois's social media and make her look like a racist c***. And just like that, Lois's reputation is cooked. Then she sneaks into her property to put an LGBT sticker on her car, which, to be honest, sounds quite harmless at first, but then Lois drives around town not knowing it's there, which gets misunderstood and is dragged into dumbass situations she didn't ask for. And everything just keeps spiraling like that.
What are you doing Friday night? So, I got my blacksmith certification. I can make axes now.
Oh.
You in the market for an axe?
But she's not done yet though, because then comes the supermarket scene. And this one is just evil for no reason. Lois is already stressed and just trying to buy paper towels, but Connie beats her to it and buys all of them on purpose. And then starts mocking her again, pushing her buttons like she's testing how far she can go. And then Lois finally snaps right there in public. She falls for the most obvious f***ing rage bait and takes the absolute piss. And of course, people record it. And the video goes absolutely viral.
Okay, that's it. You'll pay for this, Connie. You better watch your step.
Now, not only does Lois look like a complete psycho, but Connie goes even further. Because the next thing they hear, Connie's dead in a bloody car crash with the brake lines cut. And suddenly, everything points to Lois. The threats, the video, the timing, it all lines up a little too perfectly. And Lois gets arrested like she's some criminal mastermind. And this is where you just have to admit that this girl is actually insane. Because guess what? She's actually not dead. She faked the entire thing. Staged the crash, used a pig with a wig to make it look like her. Okay, interesting choice for yourself. Cut the brakes herself, all just to frame Lois for murder.
Turns out Lois didn't kill anyone. Connie D'Amico faked her own death. We found Connie an hour ago at a motel outside of town. Turns out she put a pig in a blonde wig behind the wheel of her car.
And all of this is over being expelled. Nuke the girl, please. Like, that really isn't normal behaviour anymore. That's supervillain activity. And yeah, Lois eventually gets cleared, Connie gets exposed and all that good stuff, but I mean, the damage to some extent is already done. In fact, she did so much damage that it affected Peppa Pig.
Yes? Excuse me, folks. Do you have a daughter named Peppa?
Yes.
You're gonna want to sit down.
So, if there was ever an episode that makes you hate Connie D'Amico, this surely is the one. But you guys are probably so messed up too, you need more than this to be shocked. Don't worry. Did we ever disappoint you? Now this one right here is where Connie D'Amico reminds everyone that she's still the absolute worst human on earth. After, of course, our very own Peter Griffin. So this episode starts with poor Meg Griffin trying to improve her life for once. She wants to join the cheerleading team, thinking maybe this is finally her chance not to be treated like the human punching bag of Quahog. And of course, standing right there, blocking that dream like a final boss is Connie, and her equally annoying of an ugly squad. They take one look at Meg and basically decide that it's not happening, because in their world, not cool enough might as well be a death sentence. But instead of just rejecting her outright, they pull a classic bully move and offer her a nice alternative, telling her to join the flag team instead, which, well, let's just say they're a bit...
Why don't you try the Flag Girl Squad?
Are you trying out for Flag Girl?
Join the blame.
Meg, being Meg, actually thinks they're being kind, which is painful to watch because everyone else can already see where this is bloody going. And spoiler alert, no, it's not going anywhere good. So, she joins all happy and trying her best, thinking she's finally part of something. And then comes the parade. The big bloody moment, the time where she expects to shine. But instead, Connie and her bastard crew decide to turn it into a full-on public execution. Out of nowhere, they start launching meat straight at her face. Yeah, actual meat. Just straight disrespect flying through the air, like it's a food fight sponsored by Satan himself, aka Peter Griffin. And Meg just stands there, getting absolutely violated in front of everyone.
Man, I love how these kids celebrate these days.
And that's the moment it hits her. No pun intended, but yeah. These girls were never her friends. They were just setting her up for embarrassment. And honestly, it's one hell of a brutal one. Now, Lois pops up with her classic mum advice, kill 'em with kindness, and Meg, even after everything, actually tries it, which is like watching someone walk back into a end boss fight with 1 HP. She starts being nice, helping them out, even goes as far as giving them test answers. Basically doing charity work for people who clearly deserve nothing. And somehow, this works. Or at least it looks like it works, because Connie invites her to a house party.
D'Amico even invited me to her Sweet 16.
Oh, how wonderful. Now, what time do we nail those snot-nosed punks?
Nail them?
And this is where Meg makes her biggest bloody mistake yet. She ignores the warning signs, ignores the advice, and walks straight into another trap, like a fucking NPC. At the party, everything feels normal for about, I don't know, 5 seconds. And then Connie pulls the final move, tricking Meg into going into a closet and kissing what she thinks is a guy. Only for it to be a fat-ass, disgusting, smelly pig. Yeah, another pig.
Okay, everyone get ready. Say hello to the lovers.
At this point, we can't even call this bullying anymore. It's just pure evil with extra steps and extra pigs. Anyway, so Meg runs crying to her mum and finally accepts that these girls are just terrible human beings. But her mum is done playing nice and decides to handle it in the most unhinged way possible by unleashing the starving, salivating monster, which is none other than Glenn Quagmire, on Connie's entire life. Which honestly feels less like revenge and more like a long-term curse. Because sometimes being nice doesn't fix anything. And sometimes the only way to deal with a bully like Connie is to remind her that she's not the only one who can ruin someone's day. Or even life. But it gets a significant amount more insane in this next episode. So, this whole mess starts with Meg Griffin, who once again somehow manages to fall into the most cursed bloody situations possible. She ends up dating a prisoner named Luke, who upgrades to a literal escaped convict, like this is Prison Break. And Meg, being Meg, decides this is fine and hides him in her house, like she just picked up a stray cat instead of a whole criminal.
Luke! What are you doing here?
I escaped, Meg. I escaped because I just couldn't bear another second away from you.
My God!
Obviously, things go exactly how you'd expect it. Luke gets caught and Meg gets thrown in prison for harbouring him. And the worst part is she actually goes through it, like full-on prison time, dealing with whatever mental asylum madness that goes on in there. And when she finally gets out, she comes back looking all buff, like she's been trained by Chuck Norris himself. Rest in peace, by the way.
Oh, Mr. Swanson, you can't take him!
Yes, I can, Meg. He's going back to jail.
Well, if you're you're taking him to jail, you have to take me too.
I know.
Now here's where the girl from hell, Connie D'Amico, steps in and decides to prove that growth means absolutely nothing if high school demons are still alive and well. Because Meg walks into school after literal prison time, and instead of, I don't know, basic human decency, maybe even a tiny bit of sympathy, Connie immediately goes right back to factory settings. She starts mocking her, making jokes about her going to prison, even going as far as saying that she went to prison for being ugly. I mean, she's kind of asking for it at that point. Ooh, and she'll get it. Like, imagine someone comes back from prison looking like they could bench press your entire friend group, and your first bloody instinct is to open your mouth and start chatting shit. That's not confidence, that there is a death wish.
Hey, who's the new dude?
Oh my God, that's Meg Griffin. She just got out of prison.
Hey, Meg, what'd they put you in jail for? Being ugly?
And of course, her little friend squad is right there backing her up, like NPCs programmed to agree with everything she says. But here's the thing. This time, Meg is not the same punching bag that they're used to. Not even close. Because instead of standing there and taking it like usual, she decides that today is the day that everyone learns a lesson. And I mean literally buckets of bloody. So, she pulls out a sack filled with cans of pop and just starts swinging it at them, like she's been waiting on this her whole life.
Hey, Meg, are you gonna take those soda cans to the Shaw Skank Redemption Center?
And it's even funnier because she grabs Connie and fucking French kisses her, just to assert dominance in the most unhinged way possible. She goes straight for psychological damage. And honestly, at that point, what do you even say? Because Connie spent the entire time acting like Meg was still weak, still easy to bully, still the same girl from before. And in about 10 seconds, she gets hit with physical and emotional damage. I must say, that there was satisfying. Nice. Connie saw someone who went through hell and thought it was a good idea to poke the bear anyway. Ha! And if you thought that was it, nah, you'll really despise this girl after this one. Now, this episode kicks off with Quahog getting hit by a massive flood. I mean, the Griffin house is basically turning into a low-budget submarine. Water everywhere, furniture floating around like one hell of a cursed water park, and the family trying to get out before things get worse. Normal people in this situation would stay focused on survival, getting everyone out safely, maybe grabbing something important on the way. Peter, however, has other priorities. Instead of, I don't know, acting like a responsible adult, he sends Meg Griffin back into the flooded kitchen to grab beer. Not food, not supplies, not anything useful, just beer. Because, of course, that's what matters when your house is turning into Atlantis. And yeah, we've actually talked about this kind of nonsense before in How Not to Portray Abusive Parents in Cartoons. And somehow this man is still finding new ways to make that list longer.
Yeah.
Hang on, Lois. There's a case of beer in the fridge. I can't leave that behind. Meg, you're a good swimmer. Go get it.
What? But Dad!
And for God's sake, do not be afraid to make me a sandwich while you're in there.
So we'll have to do a part 2 maybe at some point. So, Meg goes in, because that's just her life at this point. But then things go wrong. Very wrong. She gets stuck and trapped underwater, and nearly drowns while Peter is right there watching the situation unfold like his fucking pea brain is buffering. He does eventually pull her out, but the damage is already done.
Well, Lois, I am sorry for snapping at you earlier. You were right to criticize Meg. She could not even handle this simple task. She's in there right now, taking a nap under...
Next thing you know, she's in hospital, and the doctors reveal that she's in a coma, which is just all because this 200-pound bag of rotten horse crap wanted a bloody beer. But the funny thing is, for once, Peter actually feels guilty. Like genuine guilt. Not his usual 5-second regret before doing something worse. He promises that if Meg wakes up, he's going to be a better father. Which sounds nice, but given his track record...
Well, I am gonna change. You hear me, Meg? If you come out of this, I am gonna treat you like a princess for the rest of your life. 'Cause I've been a worse father...
Now, we know what you lot are thinking. Where the hell is Connie D'Amico? And don't worry, we're getting there. This context is really important before she shows up and seeing what will happen later. So, miraculously, Meg does wake up and almost immediately connects with this medical student named Michael, who's somehow normal, polite, and clearly has no idea what kind of whole family from hell that he's about to get involved with. They start dating, things look good for once, and it actually starts to look like Meg might actually finally catch a fucking break. But that's it, until Peter remembers who he is. He becomes insanely overprotective, starts interfering with everything, and eventually scares Michael off completely, because apparently peace was never an option in this household. But just when things couldn't get more crazy, Meg drops the biggest curveball possible and says she's pregnant.
Well, what is it then?
I'm pregnant!
Dad, I swear to God I didn't know that when I set you up with her.
Yeah, let's pretend we didn't hear that last part. Moving on, Peter, being the calm and rational genius that he is, responds by forcing Michael into a wedding at gunpoint. No conversation, no logic, just violence. The whole thing only falls apart when Meg admits that she was never actually pregnant. It was just her period, and Michael immediately says, "Aye, I'm heading out."
And I have some wonderful news. I'm not pregnant.
What?
But I digress far too much. Connie's appearance in this episode happened far before now, right after Meg had just returned from a coma. Meg finally comes back to school after everything she's been through, and Connie walks up with her usual squad and immediately disses her with a very lame fat joke.
Hey, Meg.
Hi, Connie.
I can't fit all my books in my locker. Can I put the rest of them on your ginormous ass?
But this time, Peter's right there to hear it. Now, normally, Meg would be the one taking the hit, but today, Peter decides to step in, and he actually kind of redeems himself here, because he goes from 0 to absolute madness in about half a second. He grabs Connie by the hair and starts slamming her face into a fire extinguisher mounted on the wall, over and over and over and over and over again, like a psychopath.
I can't fit all my books in my locker. Can I put the rest of them on your ginormous ass?
Hi, Peter Griffin, Meg's father.
Dad, that's enough! Dad, that's enough!
By the time Peter's done playing pinball with Connie's head, she's left on the floor, completely battered and bruised, and probably questioning every life decision that led her to that hallway. But we at Not Fair Studios, we love every second of karma that Connie D'Amico gets, which is another video that we've got as well, so go watch that one too. So yeah, as messed up as it is, this is one of those rare moments where Connie finally gets hit with some karma, because mocking someone who just came out of a coma was already a fucking terrible idea, and doing it right in front of her unstable joke of a father was just asking for a disaster. Now, in this episode, I just have to say it's honestly impressive how consistent Connie is at being terrible. Like, this isn't even occasional anymore. This has made this a full-time job with benefits. So we start off at school during gym class, and the coach decides to let Connie pick teams for dodgeball. Now, this is already a bloody red flag, because giving Connie any kind of authority is, well, that's not going to end well, is it? And of course, she does exactly what everyone expects. She picks literally everyone except Meg Griffin, leaving her standing there alone with nothing but plot armor, maybe. Maybe not even plot armor. After that, she proceeds to turn it from dodgeball to a bloody full-on firing squad. Everyone just starts launching dodgeballs at Meg like she's bloody public enemy number 1. And she's just there getting hit from every direction and ends up in the classic Yamcha pose.
Connie, would you like to be a captain?
Sure. I pick everyone except Meg.
Even the disabled girl rolls up and drops a ball on her, like she just wanted to be included in the bloody chaos, because why the fuck not? All of this because Connie D'Amico somehow enjoys being a fat pile of horse shit. So yeah, safe to say, Meg has had enough, because this is the kind of nonsense that makes someone question why they're even showing up to school in the first place. She decides she can't deal with another semester of this, and honestly, fair enough. Because if this is the daily routine, then yeah, it's time to go.
Hey, how was gym class? Terrible. I don't think I can take another semester at the school.
Hey,
I know. If you hate it so much here, why don't you come to Paris for a semester with me instead? I'm leaving next week.
So, she goes to talk to her friend Ruth, who somehow comes in clutch with the most f***ass random solution possible, which is to go to Paris for a semester. And just like that, Meg goes from getting bullied in gym class to packing her bags for Paris so she can eat baguettes. And when you really think about it, that's the craziest part of this whole situation. Connie bullied Meg so badly that she literally left the country. Like, instead of switching schools or taking a break, she went bloody international with it.
Good day, foreigners. On behalf of the country of France, we surrender.
Oh my god.
Like, imagine being such a menace that your actions indirectly send someone to Paris. That's changing someone's entire life plan because you couldn't act like a decent human being for 5 minutes. And the funniest part is that stupid bitch from the deepest ass crack in hell probably doesn't even realise what she just did. In her mind, picking on Meg is like a hobby. Meanwhile, Meg out here is about to experience a whole different life just because she couldn't survive one more dodgeball Call of Duty session with these demons. Yeah, so once again, Connie proves that she's the absolute most insufferable teenager in this series. And I didn't say character, we all know who that is. Now, if these episodes didn't make you feel at least some level of hatred towards Connie D'Amico, then honestly, I don't know what the hell is wrong with you. I'm not even sure I want your sub anymore. Okay, that's a lie, I'm only kidding. I absolutely do, but I'll be watching you. Anyway, guys, cheerio.